first one is really the cost of doing business. And it is very, very high in Singapore. I think we always top, at least within the top three most expensive cities in the world for various reasons. And even compared to the rest of Southeast Asia, Singapore is astronomically high to do business. And I think that is could be one potential challenge and deterrence for founders wanting to build a local company. The second thing is that there are also a lot more increasing unique opportunities, problems, and challenges outside of Singapore that entrepreneurs want to tackle, that is interesting to tackle. Right? And, if you look at income disparity, if you look at inequality in places like Philippines, Thailand, there are unique fintech companies that are being grown just to tackle these areas. So Singapore being a very small, affluent local market, it might not seem like there are that many interesting opportunities or problems to tackle. Talent competition, especially from the large growth stage companies, the likes of Grab, C Group, and all that, right, is definitely also a problem in Singapore. A lot of these organizations are rapidly scaling themselves. They have, very good packages that they can offer developers. So competing with talent with other startups is not just a problem, right? You're really now competing with the likes of C Group, Grab, and the others. And the last one I wanted to mention is really the higher barrier of entry, right, for starting up, because there are also more seasoned founders. Maybe 10 years ago, if you were not that experienced, it would be easier to start up, it would be easier to raise capital. But today, because starting up is quite a popular path for a lot of mid-career executives, the quality of founders have risen, and henceforth, right, the competition for capital, the competition for resources has also grown up. So I would say that it is a higher barrier of entry actually to start a company if you don't have the skills, the experience, the knowledge, and the know-how to start with. I think the cost of failure is definitely something people talk about a lot, but there's also a resurgence in younger people wanting to do something different, wanting to make an impact when it comes to things like sustainability, and also realizing that maybe money isn't all there is, right? I recently read about a young founder, 28-year-old lady who launched a company, and after leaving a very cushy $200,000 a year job, right? So I think that's becoming an increasing trend, especially among the younger people, that where they are realizing that they want to make a deeper impact on the world. They want to be solving problems and giving back, as opposed to just earning a paycheck. So I think one of the big profiles is that you see it's typically a late 20s type of founder, usually one that has worked in corporate or even has worked in a lot of the growth stage companies, so the likes of C Group, Grab. It's very common to see founders having worked in those areas, and then either focusing on a problem that they've identified through that working opportunity, or finding co-founders in the same environment and tackling something new. Most founders are definitely very well educated. A lot of them have actually had an overseas stint or overseas education. So for example, there's the NUS Overseas College program, which I myself was on as well, where founders typically spend a year abroad and then they come back and then they get inspired to do companies. So those are just some of the common tracks, typically that fit somewhat of a generic persona of a Singaporean founder. I think failure is still naturally a stigma or something people are afraid of. It's probably been happening a lot less than before. But the beauty now is that founders can very quickly bounce back because there are many other amazing companies for them to be a part of. So I think one of the most common things that typically happen after a founder fails is for he or she to go join whether it's a growth stage company or another or even a larger corporate, right? Typically to maybe use it as a way to, I've actually known of founders who use it as a way to earn money to pay back to some of the angels, who've done that. but also as a way for them to kind of like have a bit of breathing space and shift gears a bit from the cultural challenges of starting up into an environment where there's a bit more resources, there's a bit more flexibility, there's a bit more overall holisticness to the working experience. So I think the main thing people normally do is switch to joining back a startup. And in fact, more and more I'm seeing, right, after that happens, they do that for 2 to 3 years, sometimes a bit longer, but there's always that itch or or them identifying an opportunity to start another company happens a lot as well. So I think it's a very common transition to go from starting up, being part of a larger growth stage startup or a corporate for a while, and then going back to starting up again.